El pasado viernes en el evento Victory Road de TNA Wrestling vimos el regreso del Mesías Ricky Banderas a la empresa que hace 18 o 20 años atrás le abrió las puertas y lo bautizó como Judas Mesías. La superestrella de AAA y WWE hizo acto de presencia en el encuentro titular entre Steve Maclin y Frankie Kazarian por el Campeonato Internacional, costándole el propio Banderas a Maclin el Campeonato Internacional que ostenta ahora Frankie Kazarian. Y para eso tenemos aquí con nosotros a Steve Maclin directamente desde TNA Wrestling para hablar sobre todo esto que ha acontecido. Steve, thank you for being here with us. In Contralona, how are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me on.
So I wanted to ask you first, very quick. Last Friday on Victory Road, we saw that unfortunately you lost the International Championship against Frankie Kazarian. And I wanted to ask you because El Mesias, like, he returned to TNA, but he confronted you. And maybe he wanted to distract you so you can lose the title. And I wanted to know your reaction about that, what happened.
I think he was just making his presence known in El Mesias, and he obviously interrupted me on the pre-show when I had my one promo talking about my match later on in the night, and then I let him have his piece, had his moment. All right, cool, you're here. I've been issuing challenges to everybody from all around the globe for this international championship, and he wanted to be there and cross that line. Then he showed up in the match, and I wasn't going to have it. And then obviously it did take my eye off the prize, and Frankie Kazarian capitalized that when the referee's back was turned and hit a low blow. So I'm not the international champion right now, but I do plan to be a two-time international champion at Bound for Glory, which is October 12th, right here in Lowell, Massachusetts.
Right, and you're having your rematch against Frankie Kazarian. How important is this match for you? Not only because it's a TNA match, a rematch for the International Championship, but because it's in the biggest event of the year for TNA, Bound for Glory.
That's just it. It's the biggest night of the year for TNA wrestling, and I'm very excited to go up against Frankie to become a two-time TNA International Champion. And then once, I'm telling you right now, once I'm done at Bound for Glory, I'm going to walk across that border down over to AAA and whip on some El Mesias.
So you're telling me that that's your plan. You're going to AAA to attack El Mesias, to confront El Mesias,
Yes.
the same way.
He wanted to cross the line here in TNA. I'll definitely go down there and do the same exact thing he did, but I'm coming with some championship gold.
Has there been any beef between you guys from the past that maybe made happen what happened last Friday on Victory Road?
No beef at all. So that's what I don't understand as well. So what I'm going to go down there and do is squash this entire thing and figure out how we can go on and move on as a working relationship with AAA and WWE that TNA Wrestling does have. That's great, but it's like you wanted to cross the line. You didn't even say a damn word. You just wanted to show up, kind of distract me, get me to lose my match. Maybe that was his plan. Maybe it wasn't his plan. I don't know. But I'm going to go down to AAA and find out.
Speaking about the collaborations between TNA Wrestling and WWE and adding AAA as well, how do you feel about this? Have you seen any positive results for TNA with this collapse?
Everyone's talking about it. So if you haven't noticed on social media, Twitter, Instagram, just all over socials, everybody's talking about the buzz around TNA Wrestling ever since the rebrand. And with the working relationship, it's only just done that. And we're on the cusp of a new TV deal at some point, which everybody's been waiting for. I'm waiting for. I know the whole roster's waiting for that day to happen. And when it does happen, it's going to be great because it's all the hard work that's been put into all this.
Let's talk about next Tuesday's NXT versus TNA Showdown. I want to know how you feel about this and how important is this kind of showdown for TNA Wrestling as a brand?
Listen, everybody wants to call this a big war. This showdown is just one of those little battles that's going to happen. So everybody's been asking, how do you feel now about not being on Team TNA? How do you feel about this? Or the women's team this? It's just like, no, it's like we're at a war. We're in a war right now. You don't send all your heavy hitters. You don't put every friggin' troop there on the ground right away. We're playing the long game, and that's the thing with TNA. They've always played the long game. We've always been the underdog for over 23, 24 years now. That's why we've stuck around, because we played the long game. So I expect Team TNA. I expect Ali to take the North American Championship from Ethan Page, and then I also expect the girls to win their match as well.
Let's talk about Bound for Glory. What can we expect on this event this next Sunday at Lowell, Massachusetts?
Or expect to see me as a two-time international champion after I beat the self-proclaimed king of TNA, Frankie Kazarian. But also, it's the biggest night in TNA history. We're going to break the Northern Gate that we had at UBS Arena at Slammiversary, and then just TNA just keeps breaking records. Like I said, you have myself versus Frankie Kazarian for the International Championship. You have Trick Williams, who's the TNA champion, and you have Mike Santana, who's going to bring that title home. And then you also have the Dudleys in one final table match, Team 3D versus the Hardys.
Amazing. So, Steve, I want to thank you for this time, for giving us the opportunity to talk with you here in Contralona. And to end this interview, a few words to the fans in Puerto Rico, Latin America that are watching you right now, and also a quick words not only for Frankie Kazarian, but for El Mesias as well.
If you don't know me, I'm sure you will know me. I will be a two-time international champion, and I will be down there at some point, whether it's Puerto Rico and Mexico, all over the globe. I plan to bring that international championship with me. And El Mesias, if you're watching this, I hope you know you're ready. I'm telling you, you don't have to fear me jumping you from behind. I'm going to walk up to you like a man, just like you did face-to-face with me.
Amazing. Steve, thank you so much for this time, and we wish you all the best next Sunday at Bound for Glory.
Thank you very much.
Steve Maclin lo vieron aquí en Contralona, conectando la lucha libre contigo.
Contralona, mi